At a secret location over the back of Mount Tambourine. We found this thing. We spotted it. We knocked on the door, there was nobody here, so we thought, we're just going to pull some bits off it. So we're going to fix some electrics while he's at work today. So we're punking his truck while he's at work. So we're going to sort out the electrics and the light bar. I've got back end to pull apart now, so we put it up on jack stands and pull it all apart. As you can see, the Wombat's been shopping. So this is all the stuff we got to play with from Terrain Tamer. So we got his starter motor, we got real wheel bearing kits and crank shaft seals, oil. There's a whole engine service kit there. There's shockeys and a front steer shockey. We're doing a power steer flush on it and a brake fluid flush and rear handbrake shoes, which I can't see. And there we go. So we'll make a start on this old girl and give her a birthday.
A few moments later.
The wheel bearing was all stuffed and rumbly, but look at the state of that. That's all just creek water and cack in there. Also, somebody in the past has actually bare metaled one of the pads. As you can see, the condition of the rotor that side's not too bad, but this side looks like it come off Noah's Ark. It's got big gauges in it. So somebody's just done a pad slap on there, so we'll probably do new rotors on the back of here, because there's actually less material on the one side than the other now, so heat transfer is not going to be too good through that rotor. So yeah, we'll clean that up. We'll do new studs as well. His wheel bearing was loose, so these studs have all been stretched. So we'll replace all them too, so they don't snap when we're tightening them. And do the collets as well and taper washers. And then same other side, do rear wheel bearings. So we've just got this side to pull apart, but as you can see, the rotor on this side, a lot better condition. There we go. But there we go. We'll do a set of rotors on the back and studs, wheel bearings and seals. The diff oil's all drained. That looks pretty good. All right, there we go. Progress report. That's the back end. All this side stripped down. So I've got the two hubs there. I'm going to take home, give them a bath out, press the bearings out, put them back in and pack them with grease. So that's all stripped. That side's all good. There we go. That side's all stripped as well, ready for clean. And everything else off. That's it. His front shockeys are done now. So he's got the lovely Terrain Tamers in there with new shockeys and new rubbers. Happy days, like a birthday. And there we go. And there we go. Just done his heat hoses as well. So that's all the heat hoses changed both sides. Got his radiator hoses off and the coolant's all drained down out of it. And there we go. And that's it. And then Dylan's got the electrical done now. He's tidied up all the electrics that run through the air filter up the snorkel. And that comes out the back of the snorkel there. So all his light bars working now as well. So he'll be happy. And the same with his headlights. Just got to put some new H4 headlights in there because he's got seal beams and one's blown on one side. So we'll stick another set of headlights in for him, which are H4s. And the same, we're going to change the spotties on the front for him, something a bit more modern. Some LEDs. And there we go. Happy days. Alright, there we go. So I'm just having a look at Muzz's radiator. I noticed a few rub marks underneath. It's actually not even bonded to this side of the bracket on the radiator, so I have to pull the radiator out. You can sort of see there on these plates on the top, they come unbonded with the flex of the vehicle when you're doing things like wheelies when he's four-wheel driving. So it's the same. Check the corners of your radiators. Yeah, so this one's definitely gone. The bonding's all gone on this side. So before the radiator chatters through, we'll pull it out and then we'll see if we can get that all brazed back on and fixed. If not, you might need a new radiator. Day 2 on Muzz's rocket. He's been shopping again. He sent Dylan off to Terrain Tamer because we wanted rotors and knuckles for the steering. So we got all new hub studs, wheel nut studs and wheel nuts. So it's definitely needing a birthday. So there we go. I'm just stripping his hubs now. I've managed to pull all the studs out without snapping any, but they're all pretty much bent. So I definitely would not use them again. So we'll give the hub a clean out, tap the races in, pack the bearings, get that side rebuilt. A few more bits to do. I've got the shockeys to put on the rear for him, so that's got the handbrake shoes all on, cleaned and lubricated as well with never sees, all the pins. And there we go, there's his old rotor, so we got new rotors. So I'm working on the back end mechanically. Dylan's on the front end doing the electrical at the moment. He's just going to tidy up around where the batteries are. Some of the wires are sort of rubbing on the cross members and wearing through the conduits, destined to go on fire. So we're sorting out these few little dramas here, and electricals, and just where there's like relays taped to hoses and things is a bit sketchy. He's also been playing with the two-way today, and he's found out the two-way wasn't even joined inside. It should be soldered up inside there. So Dylan's sorting that out now, so that's why he didn't have much punch on his two-way, because the wire was pretty much just contacting. So there we go, so that's what Dylan's on with, and then he's on with the starter motor swap out. We're going to do that too, just preventative maintenance. Then I got the belts and the radiator to go in. We got the new lights on the front, which are, believe it or not, the old lights out of Vader. There they are, still like new. Still got the red sand from Australia around them, so there we go. There's the progress so far. A3 on Muzzer's rig. So I'm back up here today. Oh look. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so let's put some stickers on. So the back end's all done. Wheel bearings, brakes, handbrakes, rear rotors, and all of the tidy up. We had dramas changing his shocky out. His bottom shocky bolt was absolutely rusted into the bottom shocky bracket. So of course, couldn't get it free, snapped. So of course I just had to nip around the corner where Vader is. And of course I had some spare parts, which he's had a fair few Vader parts actually. Because these wheels were off Vader, the springs were off Vader, the shockies were off Vader. And there we go, so he's got a few bits. So all the front's done now as well, so all I've got to do now is all the steering joints. I've got a whole kit to put through. Change the AC belts. Put the new radiator in, give it a power steer flush, then an engine, gearbox service and diff oils. So it's a lot tidier today. So Dylan was here yesterday, I had him doing all the electrics, so all the rat's nest of wires that was around them batteries yesterday, Dylan tidied all them up. So she's looking good now, so there we go. So I have my morning coffee. And hooking all the front end, dropped all the front end off, all the linkages. So I changed that one, I changed that end, that's all ready to go back on. This one's been a bit temperamental, pretty rusted, so I've given that a clean out, just giving it a soak in some WD-40 in both ends, because these ends are tight. I don't think they've been out for a while. So we'll get them out, have a quick shady break now, give them 5 minutes to soak, hit them and get the front end back together. Happy days. And that's the power steer all sucked and vacked out too. It's all cleaned. I use my big vac pump there, it's good, you just plug it on onto one of the hoses. I just pulled the hose off down the bottom there, connect my sucker on there, and it's evacuated the whole system. There you go, so that's cleaned all the power steer out. I'll get that done, have a quick shade break now. And carry on, get that done, get the belts done, the radiator in, and carry on with the rest of the service. Okay Mozza, your rocket is ready to go, bro. Proper turn key and go now. Change the key, you need to get a new barrel on this thing. And there she is. She's alive. Happy days. Well, there we go, so he's got new radiator hoses, new heater hoses and bypass hoses. So all the perishables have been done on the coolant side. It's had a power steer flush. It's had a service and all the filters done and the fuel filters. It's had a brake flush. It's had rear rotors and rear wheel bearings and all studs and headlights. And there she is. Ready for the weekend.